of them was Yoruba, Abakwa, and Palomonte.
Why do you sacrifice animals? And what else do you do in these ceremonies? Because from what I know, it's kind of a party. I'm gonna say this: when you have a problem with someone, do you solve this by using the religion? What makes you go for God or Yoruba believer, or what makes you why believing in Yoruba?
You can blame to the religion or your riches or your saints for everything that happened in your life.
Should I have a santo? I mean, should I do the santo stuff? Everyone should do it. When you should do it, when not. It is necessary. Okay, guys, welcome back to yet another episode of this crazy podcast, which is I'm currently in. And today we're going to be talking about the religion in Cuba. We have a special guest, which is Miguel Alejandro. How do you say Babalawo or Babalao? What is the right way to say it?
Well, the right word is Babalawo.
That's a way to pronounce it.
Well, normally in Cuba, when you call some Babalawo in the streets, you can say Babalao.
But that's the Cuban way.
Yeah, or Oluo.
Oluo. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Yoruba religion. Besides the contrast that it comes with Yoruba religion, all the spirit, Christian, all this stuff, because I know that some of you guys love the religion in Cuba. So I have a list of questions that I want to ask you about. The first one is, well, first of all, I'm sorry. Please tell the audience who you are and why you're here and whatever you want.
Well,
Yeah, because I was like straightforward. I'm crazy about this podcast, so you go ahead.
well, I can. I think I can introduce me by myself like Miguel Alejandro. I'm a Cuban singer, composer, and
You're a Cuban singer, but you're not single.
yeah, singer.
So, okay.
Yeah, good point. Good
Okay,
point.
yeah.
And I'm a Babalawo too. I'm a painter. I like to portraits. I think I'm an artist.
Yeah, you are an artist. So actually, before going into the podcast, well, we're in the podcast, but before going into this special topic, Miguel and I, we met working together a long time ago when I was working in the gastronomy industry. He was a waiter,
Waiter, yeah.
and as well as I was, and then we became really good friends. So this guy over here, we're gonna do another podcast talking about the art side of this human being, which is special for me. And then today is all about the Yoruba religion. So please, where the Yoruba religion is, where all this Yoruba comes from. Tell me about this, because so many people think that Yoruba religion is wearing white.
Well, the beginning, we must make some. We must do some history first. The beginning was in 1492 when the Spanish conquerors arrived to Cuba. We must say Cuba was Aborigine island. Sorry, and because normally there is a lot of people they believe that like always was a island with Africans or or persons like the Africans. No. Was Aborigine island. So when the Spanish conquerors arrived, the Aborigines don't resist the hard work. So they went kill it, all of them. So they don't resist. So the Spanish conquerors, they went to the west coast of Africa, like Congo, Nigeria. So they bring to Cuba those persons like slaves. So in that zone, in that west coast, they went three um, main cultures. It's not religions. It's like cultures. So three of them was Yoruba, Abakwa, and Palamonte. So when the conquerors put together inside the ships, they don't divide by culture. So they made two, you, and you. So they make like a milkshake inside. So when arrived to Cuba, arrived like a milkshake. So I think that is why in Cuba you can't find like a definition among the cultures. You can find people practicing all of them together. So I think that's the beginning of the uh, African culture inside the Cuban culture.
So what you mean is that the African culture or the African religion came to Cuba as a culture, no as a religion back
I
then.
said why I said cultures because it's a culture. It's not because religion is something that you believe, but culture is your way to think,
Your roots.
your roots, your way to dress, your language. So all that is inside that we call, for example, Yoruba religion, because has a language, has a way to do the things. It's not just a thing that you believe. It's more
I
than
believe it
that.
came from Nigeria,
Yeah,
right?
Nigeria. Yoruba came from Nigeria. Yeah.
And when, I mean, you know that in Cuba we have, or we still have, but back then we used to call the mix between the Cuban people back then, or the Cuban native, and the people who came from Nigeria, in this case, from Africa, whatever. We called them moros, right? Is, I mean, the point is, all this became part of the Cuban culture when they came and they implemented this culture in Cuba, or do you know if the Cuban people, besides the African, we used to have some culture based on that religion?
There is a point where the Spanish conquerors, for example, when the slave arrived to to the domain of the Spanish, they they went forbidden. To, they must obey the rules of the Spanish, and one of the rules was they can't practice his own religion
Why?
because it's forbidden, and they must believe in the Catholicism. Is the I think is the base, the religious base from the Spanish. So this is the beginning of something interesting in the Yoruba religion. There is a couple of amount of gods called orishas. So the Spanish has his saints, and this is the beginning of some one of the concept in this religion, the syncretism. What is the syncretism? The syncretism is each, for example, each orisha in the Yoruba religion has a representation in the
Criticism.
no, the Catholicism.
Okay.
The Catholicism. The Christianism is just they believe in one God. They have different ways to be, but Catholicism they have saints, different saints. So that's why even the believers in the Yoruba religion, in in Cuba, they go to the church too, and they believe in the saints. For example, in Cuba, it's very popular adore Santa Bárbara or Virgen de Regla, Virgen de la Caridad. So, is the arrival to Cuba and the involved in the Cuban culture, you can see it in that way. It's a mixture between Yoruba and Catholicism.
Okay, I have a question. What makes you, as a human, what makes you go for God or Yoruba believer, or what makes you why believing in Yoruba and or Ifao? What's the name of the God in your case, or you have different sense?
In my case,
Why believing?
I think there is different way uh, one person to believe in something. But in my case, grown up with this tradition in my family. Believe in in sorry in the Yoruba religion, the Orishas, and but I this is not the only way because I know people they are, for example, Christians or Catholics, and they, for one reason of crisis, they went to, I don't know, maybe a Babalawo or Santero, uh, searching for answers to something, and in that moment they receive the answer or the solution to his own problems, and in that way, in that moment, they start to believe in that because they found something there that they don't find before. So I think this is the way that the persons start to believe in something when they find the answers to these problems.
And in this case, let's talk about the saints for a bit. Let's say that I come to you as a Babalao because I have a certain amount of problems that I go to the doctor, for example, or I go to a spiritist, or I go to whatever is the source that I find, and I don't find a solution. So I go to the Babalao and I say, "Hey, Miguel, I came to you because I have a problem. I think, I don't know, I want to accomplish something, and I feel like I cannot get it. Is there any way that you could help me? What is the process? Do I have to have a saint? Do I have to believe in Yoruba since that day? Do I have to avoid the other's religion? What's the process? What would you do in this case?"
Well, first of all, there is a thing in that in the Yoruba religion. Yoruba is inclusive. I can say inclusive.
Inclusive.
Religion.
Okay.
Yeah, inclusive. Inclusive. Sorry,
It's okay.
too many words. And but you can. It's a religion that is feeding every time of the others. Maybe you believe in God or Buddha or any other of those gods, but you came to me. I don't gonna reject you. No, that's not happened. You came to me, and I gonna give you the answer that the Orishas or Orula tell me to give it to you. So it's not any problem if you believe in.
I don't have to quit my other.
Yeah, no. You
Religions.
just came here to me to find an answer. So I'm gonna give you the answer, no matter who you are or where you come from.
And what's the process? Let's say that I came to you. Hey, this is my problem. What would you do? What's the
Well-
process? What do I have to do? Do I have to pay? Do I have to buy something?
It's a reality. It's a reality. The person must pay. The price is another thing, and in the society right now, but it must pay because in the rules for the Babalawo must to receive like a gift for give his own powers to resolve these kind of problems. And well, you came to me and make you a consult with tools. Every Babalawo has tools to see your past, your present, and your future in that moment.
So when you talk to me, you could be talking about things that I have felt in my past,
Yeah,
things that are going on right now, and things that will happen in the future.
yeah. I must say something very important. The advices that you're gonna receive from the Babalawo depends of the interpretation level of
Of the person.
Yeah, if you the Babalawo is not.
It's not magic.
Yeah, it's how to say. There is a tool that gonna give you this different signs. There is 256 signs that you must interpret. So you're gonna came with one. Your astrology gonna came with one. So I must interpret that to you because, for example, 10 person came with the same sign. It's not the same because they have different lives. So I must interpret what do you have. I must just tell you what do you need to do to improve in your life with that sign. So inside that sign, I'm gonna tell you the bad things that you must avoid, the good things. But I can tell you a lot of things. But I always said the religion must be in the second place. You must to how to say to feel secure by yourself. For example, I always say this kind of example. You have a test in the university and you never study because you believe your Orisha gonna give you the strength and the intelligence to get over it. That's impossible because you must to do something by yourself.
Of course.
So if you came to me, I'm gonna help you to arrive to arrive to your goal. Is approve this test. Maybe clear your mind, the knowledge. Maybe the test is more easy than before or something. But you must, even if you make a sacrifice.
We're going to be talking about that in a bit.
Okay. You make a sacrifice. It's not good if you don't do something by yourself.
Let me ask you a question. Now that you mention it, the sacrifice, guys, there are some like words that we need to avoid because of YouTube, because otherwise the video can be forbidden. So I'm gonna try to ask you, and you're gonna understand why. So avoid words like I'm gonna block it and this stuff. So you talked to me and you said that the Yoruba religion is kind of mixed with God somehow, right? With the Catholicist or somehow. What is the main difference between being Catholic? Let me finish, and being Yoruba believer, because for example, in the Catholicism, you don't do sacrifice.
Exactly.
Why do you sacrifice animals, which are the only things that you do, right? Animals.
Yeah.
Why you do that?
Well, the answer is because with the sacrifices, the riches have the opportunity you give to the Orishas the opportunity with the sacrifices to speak to you, to tell you what do you need, the advices, and it's because it's the connection between their land with your land. That's basically.
And what if I am like an animal lover, but I still have the same problem? So I came to you, and you say, "Hey, we got to do a sacrifice. We have to sacrifice a chicken," and I say, "Okay, I don't want to do that." Is that any problem?
I must say, before you make any sacrifice, you must go to Babalawo, and he, with Orula. Orula is the
speaker.
The oracle who gonna tell you what do you need to do to get better. So not always you must make a sacrifice.
Yeah, of course not. But
Depends what do you need. Maybe with flowers you resolve the problem. But in the case you need to make a sacrifice, Orula must tell you. It's not like okay, I gonna chicken, give you any orishas because I just want no. It's not like that. Because maybe it's not what do you need. It's not that kind of animal. It's not that kind of chicken or orisha that need in that moment the sacrifice that you need for you for improving your life. So you must ask first. You must to wait the word of Orula.
and if you say, "Hey, Orula says that you have to go to the river and put some flowers and I don't know, talk to whatever is the saying that you go for," and if you don't do that, are you in danger?
No. It's not about in danger. It's not
Like, I lied to you because I didn't do
a
anything.
damn. It's not a doom. Sorry, it's not a doom that you don't do that. Maybe it's about, for example, sometimes when you go to Orula, maybe he can say things with more or less danger. For example, you're gonna be sick, or you're gonna be you have problems in your job, but sometimes they warn you about death or mortal disease,
Accidents.
So it's warning you. Maybe don't happen, but you need to do this kind of sacrifice or I don't know, put flowers, go to the river, like you say. If you don't do it, it's not like nothing happened. Is you don't gonna do what is necessary to avoid that. So you're walking with your lucky. But it's not if you don't do that, you're gonna die or something gonna happen the next day. It's not like that.
Okay, from what I know, I think that your, I don't know how to call it, astrology, or it changes every
16 days.
16 days?
Yeah.
So every 16 days,
Yeah.
I must go to the Babalawo and ask you how my next 16 days will go.
Wow. That's in the books. That's what they say. But I think it's not necessary. Depends of I don't like watch my astrology like with a very
Every single day, every single minute.
It's not. I don't feel good with that because you start to create a dependence of everything that happens around you. Sometimes you feel it. Sometimes you have a problem because the life is the continuous solution of problems. You need problems to grow up. So you can't live without problems. The problems are necessary. So, but you you make all this kind of sacrifices, all that, because you want to be,
Better.
you want, yeah, better, and you want to have success in the solution of the problems. But it's not like, okay, I don't know, I don't know how to say. With every woman you meet in your life, you're gonna go to the babalawo to know what to say or not. That's not.
Of course not.
You must believe in you, and you must
To live.
fall in love
Yeah.
with your skills. So that's 16 days is your astrality change. Gonna change in 16 days, but it's not necessary call to the babalawo or santero after 16 days. It's not like that.
What are the different saints? And the other question is, should I have a santo? I mean, should I do the santo stuff? Everyone should do it. When you should do it, when not. It is necessary. Let me know.
Well, I'm gonna talk to you about the steps.
What's the name? How do you say it?
No, the steps to start to believe.
Okay, steps.
Become yeah, steps.
Oh shit.
First of all, you go to the babalawo. You want to be part of this religion, and you must you must make a ceremony where you gonna receive your guardian angel. The guardian angel gonna be one of those riches like Shango, Yemaya, Ochun, or Batala, Legua, and you're gonna receive a sign. Remember the 256 signs? Call it Odun. This is the name.
Odun.
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 Oddun.
Okay.
And with that, you're gonna know for your entire life what do you need to do. For example, it's bad to you drink too much. It's bad to you dress with black, or I don't know. There is a lot of things that you gonna be gonna be bad for you. It's not
Things that you should avoid.
yeah, and gonna give you also your strength. You are good with for business, or you're gonna be a good teacher. So you have a north you can follow, and you have the orisha gonna protect you. So you know which one is protecting you. So you can make some offerings, some ceremonies with that orisha. It's more how to say.
It's not forced.
No, it's not forced. It's precise. It's more
Okay.
precise because you can adore, for example, Elegua, for example, but the orisha who's protecting you is Oshun. So you know which one is beside you. That is called receive mano de rula.
Oh, no. Okay. That's the first step.
Yeah, the first step. So in the man is called mano de rula. In the woman is called kofa.
Kofa.
Yeah. The second step, when you know which one is your guardian angel, is receive the crown of that orisha. It's not a crown; it's a symbolic thing, a ceremony. But it's like you reborn again. And for a baby, for a person reborn again, you need a father. So if your guardian angel is a woman, for example, Jemaya or Shun, you need a father, like Chango, Elegua, or Batala. And there is a lot of ceremonies you made in that moment. You must do wearing white for a whole year. This is the second step. You wanna There is a third. You wanna?
I wanted to ask you about wearing white, but finish it. I mean, all the process that
No. Okay. Why
are
white?
with.
White. Okay. Is in that moment you must be called.
Oh, guys, we're in the middle of Vedado, and we have an avenue right here. So,
Okay.
coquito con guayaba. There's someone selling stuff on the street, so you probably are hearing that. But that's Cuba. So, go ahead, my friend. You were saying why wearing what?
Okay.
White.
Why wearing white? Because you must. The white is the color of the purity,
Okay.
and you must to keep like this a whole year because you must to attract all the purity of the world, and you must be called iyabo.
Ijabo.
Iyabo. What is the meaning of iyabo? Reborn from a mother.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
People
Reborn.
think, tourists, when they come to Cuba, they ask me all the time, should I wear white? Because I think it's a trend in Cuba. I see so many people wearing white, and I always say, no, it's all about their Yoruba religion. And they call it jabo. In Cuba, we say jabo, but
Yeah.
it's ijabo. Ijabo.
Iya means mother. Bo, born.
Wow.
So this is the meaning of the word. In Cuba, the Cubans, they kept this. They have this tradition to wearing white, because they want to attract the purity. But maybe they're not iyabo. I'm talking about
The rest of the people.
Yeah. And there is a ceremony in this process of become iyabo that you must dance in front of the tambourine, 3 tambores bata, you know. In that moment, if you are a man, maybe you get in trance. You must dance your own guardian angel.
What do you mean by getting trans? It's like the saints comes to you?
Exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. In that moment.
But do you have any power or something like that? I mean, when did that happen to you before?
No.
Okay.
Normally, I'm saying this because normally, the man that we've been possessed by the riches can't become in a babalawo.
Oh.
Yeah.
But so the woman cannot become babalawo.
No, this the babalawo is just for
The man.
men. Yeah.
And
Maybe in
the
some
woman
cultures there is something.
are what? Santeras,
Yeah.
which is below babalawo when it comes to power and.
The babalawo is like the priest, the high priest in this religion. It's like the priest in our church. Because he's the man who has the knowledge and the power to make all this kind of sacrifices, ceremonies.
And what else do you do in these ceremonies? Because from what I know, it's kind of a party where you eat some stuff.
Yeah, there is a process, a whole process. This process duration is 7 days. So the process you must go to the river is where you're born, and then the process to give you the crown of the guardian angel, and then is the sacrifices, then is the party.
Having in this case all this process of becoming santo, the sacrifice is very important. It's like
Yeah, it's where
it's needed.
Yeah, it's where the rishas I must say, when you make this ceremony, you're gonna receive all the primary riches. For example, your guardian angel is Ochun, but you're gonna receive Ubatala, Yemaya, Chango, all those riches. Why? Because like this, if you must to make some sacrifice or offering, you have it in your house. You have it. You don't need to go to your good father or good mother to okay, I must I wanna make this kind of offering. You must travel to the next city. Now you have it in your house with you, are yours. I mean this because the third step, if you dance in front of the tambourine and you don't get in trance, you can become a babalawo. You have this kind of possibility. You're able. But when you decide become a babalawo, you must to ask to Shango
Why Shango and not to
because he's the who say if you are
or not?
you're able to become a babalawo or not. You, there is a lot of man that they have all prepared, and when they asked to Shango, he said no, you must wait. So yeah, so in that case,
He must be very disappointed.
yeah, you can imagine all the preparation. So if he said yes, there is you pass to the Ifa land.
What is Ifa?
Yeah, Ifa is a treatment. It's a whole world. It's another land. It's another reborn. Again, you receive another sign. It's a new you.
Now I get it when you say culture.
Exactly.
Because I think you must study a lot to become Ifa, to become a santo, to practice this religion. It's not like I want to become a santo because this was trend in Cuba actually. So many people becoming santo just because they want to, I don't know.
Because they have money.
Yeah, they wanted to spend a lot of money. It's an expensive thing. And on the other hand, it was like I want to wear completely white. It was a trend in Cuba. But now that you talked about this, I see that it's all about believing, culture, and it's like a lifestyle, right? Once you become Ifa, your mentality, the way you live, the
Must
way you
change.
talk,
Must change.
must change.
Yeah, because sometimes your personality is in this mode, this way, but when you receive these powers of this knowledge of Ifa, you must change it because this way that you have right now is not okay for you, and you must change it. That is why there is a lot of babalawos that you meet before become a babalawo. You say, hey, you changed. You just with the first look, because it's kind of study all this knowledge that you interpret every day, give you this kind of revelation of what do you need in your life for you and for the others.
So for you as a man, you become a believer, you become a santo, you become Ifa.
I become a fan. I received.
You received
Yeah.
Ifa, so you are a babalawo.
Exactly.
Is that the top of the top, or you still have?
I can say inside the babalawos, there is different powers that you must receive inside this land, this treatment. And there is a babalawos that they have more powers received than others, or in this culture, like the babalawos, the circle, the age is important.
The age of you as a man, or
No, like a babalawo. For example,
the years that you've been
years, yeah,
practicing.
it's exactly, because for example, in this Yoruba thing, you must respect the elders. because they have more knowledge. So I think the knowledge is very important inside this culture, this religion, because you learn from them. So it's like the respect is the level is higher because you are my teacher. There is a lot of young people. They have more knowledge than some elder, but it's less, so less way.
Do you, as a Yoruba believer, do you judge people who are not believing in Yoruba?
No,
Or
no, 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 no. This is a mistake. No, this is my religion.
are you
This is
respecting?
my choice. I just believe in my thing. I have friends, Christian friends, Catholic friends, ateo. I don't know, atheists.
I don't know how to say
They
it.
don't believe, no shit. So I think if you start to you decide which one you gonna walk or speak or because his religion, I think is wrong. It's not okay.
Now, going back to the beginning, you talked about Yoruba,
Yeah.
and you talked about Abakwa,
Wow.
and the other one is
Palomonte.
Palomonte. Let's talk about the Abakwa for a second. How, first of all, what is Abakwa, and how Abakwa is part of this religion?
Well, Abakwa, I'm gonna say it simple to a better understanding. Abakwa works like a brotherhood.
It's a brotherhood. Sorry, from the religion itself, or
Yeah,
how it works.
it's like imagine a partner, a party, a secret party. But if you want to get in, you need the trust of someone inside. That's in this culture. I always speak culture because religion is something more precise. In this culture, Abakwa is, for example, you need a good father. So you prove to
You
him.
need to be a good person.
Yeah, it's not about a good person. The trust. He must trust you, so he gonna get inside the circle, and then you're gonna receive a name.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, sometimes this Abakwa, they justify bad acts. With his culture, because I'm a Abakwa, so because you must to follow certain rules, your ethic must to be precise. There's a different points you must to follow. So there is a lot of people that trying to get power above the others, justifying bad acts in this way. Because I am Abakwa, I can or I cannot. So this is depends of the person and depends of the elders. That's the way the elders has like influence in the new generations, because he's in some way they give this kind of permission to do that.
So, in the case of the Alakwa, is nothing. It has nothing to do with the God. It has,
Well, there is some.
I mean, you know, you don't have to do a santo to become an abacua or stuff like
There
that.
is some different ceremonies. Different ceremonies. Uh,
You're not abacua, are you?
no, I'm not. I'm not. But sometimes, for example, there is some ceremonies inside the Yoruba religion that they are connect with the Abakwa thing. Uh, but it's they are different. They have his own like representation of gods. Is it called Irime? Is it the little devil with the costume with the
I have seen that.
yeah, with
And
the big
people
eyes
got it
and
as a
bells
tattoo.
in the hips? This is the Irime. It's
Does
very
the
popular.
does the tattoo is a necessity? I mean, if you want to become an abacua, do you have to do the tattoo or not?
Well, I don't have that kind of information.
Do you know any abacua who speak English? Maybe we can do a podcast.
I need to find it. I need to find it.
It's gonna be complicated.
Yeah, maybe no, maybe
Nobody knows, but who knows?
Yeah, but yeah, maybe that's.
I had a client who wanted to. She's an abacua. I had no clue about that woman could become abacua, and she's from the U.S. and she wanted to come to Cuba only to know more about the abacua
Yeah,
culture in Cuba,
I'm
which
just
was
saying,
insane.
It's just saying, but you can find Abakwa with Mano de Rula or a Babalawo, and
So you can mix them all.
yeah, you can find people they believe in everything because in Cuba, it's like a milkshake. There is divided, but everything is joined.
When you mention it, Palomonte, is this what we call in Cuba los paleros?
Exactly.
What palero is and how it works? Because I had like some clue about the Yoruba religion because I'm Cuban, but I don't know anything about palero. I know there is a huge difference between being a palero and being a babalawo. I think that being a palero has like a little more. It has like more things to do.
darker.
Yeah, more darker within it, and more power. I would say it's like people who goes to the palero, or many people think about this. I don't know. I'm just saying what people think. You go to a palero when you want to do something really dark, like it's not a wizard, it's not like a witcher. What is a palero? And in this case, would you go to a palero? Have you ever had this experience before?
How I said, inside the religion, the Yoruba, there is a part of all of them. I think that those three cultures are they are together in Cuba. But I must say, and I'm sorry if I
It's
I
okay. This
I
is a
just
podcast.
given my
Your opinion.
perception. Yeah. It's a little bit dark because it's more.
There is not like a gray. It's black or white.
Yeah, it's not like. I think Yoruba is more
Flexible.
concepts, yeah, and
Open.
advices. But Palomont is more with. I must say something. In these African religions, the ancestors has a very important part inside the religion. So the Paleros works more with the ancestors, with your they are used more the how to say the weakness of your soul, of your astral. It's like a tag line, like the football is more like a tag line.
I know people who have done this before. They have mentioned it, for example, that if you get your name and you write it down in a paper, and you put it in the freezer, it's gonna make you cool it down. And by cool it down, I mean you're gonna come to me like, "Hey, Alex, I'm so sorry for doing what I
Yeah.
have done," or I could do, I don't know, like some crazy stuff, like putting your name or the paper on a bottle of honey, and it's gonna make you sweet, like, "Oh, darling, huh?" Stuff like that. Is this part of the palero stuff, or this is spirit stuff?
Maybe, maybe, maybe that concept start in the uh, paletos style, but in Yoruba we use it too. So this
I'm
thing,
lost. I'm lost right now. So do you do that? Paleros do that?
yeah, but the thing is the base. For example, um, there is something that the 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 center of the paletos is the la ganga, the ganga. The ganga is a very huge metal pot that you have different earth bones, branches, some part of iron. This is the center of the power of the paletos. In Yoruba, is the riches. You have your riches, Django, and your Orula. It's different. They have the version of Ochun and your riches, but it's a little bit different. The thing, the way to feed them is different. That's why I said everything is mixed because, like Yoruba practicant, you you can have a ganga too in your house. So it's
When you, how can I say this? When you have a problem with someone, do you solve this by using the religion, or you do it personally? What I mean is, you go to Ifa and you say, "Hey, go and get these people out of my mind, or get it out of my life," or you just go and solve this problem personally. "Hey, let's talk. We have a problem. Blah blah blah."
well, how I said before, the religion is to help you. Maybe you can do something to create the opportunity of success when you're gonna talk to that person.
Okay, I get it.
You get it? Maybe something happened that you gonna have success. Maybe something happened to change the play to you.
Now I want to ask you this because there is some bad, I would say bad perspective about babalawos in Cuba, or some of them, because so many people think that when you come to see a babalawo, you as a professional, you're going to ask for a lot of money, and you're going to solve all the problems that the people came looking for. And the main sentence that most people say to the Cubans in general is like, "You're gonna travel this year," because everybody knows that Cubans, they all want to travel. And when I go to a babalawo, they say you're gonna travel. When, I don't know, people is like, if you go to the babalawo, he's gonna say that you're gonna travel. Don't go. If you go to a babalawo, he's gonna say that you have to go to the river and you have to spend a lot of money by doing this. What do you think about this?
Okay. I must say there is something called karma. And I want to tell you, when you interpret, you make the interpretation of the sign that you have in front of you, like a babalawo, and you do it well with your heart, I don't know, because like a believer is something is happening, but you're gonna get the answer, the real answer. It's not okay to tell you you're gonna travel, because it's a lie if it's not wrote it in the sign. Maybe you have another kind of uh, lucky in your life. So the thing is, for example, if I'm in Spain, Europe, United States, and any place that you can travel, what I gonna tell you? You're gonna travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can travel right now.
That's the point that I don't get it.
So the people, there is a lot of people. I know there is a lot of people trying to tell you what do you need, what do you want to hear. Oh, travel. For it's near.
You're gonna make a lot of
Tourist,
money.
you're gonna know a tourist from United States this summer, or you're gonna have a very good business. So yeah, this is, imagine all the people in the planet having this kind of fate. It's not okay. So why I'm talking about the karma, because if you start to telling to the people lies in this religion, is not a good thing. So you must be careful with that.
So you could be punished.
Yeah, because you are, that person gonna start to walk in another way, and his fate is getting more away. So if you give the exact interpretation, okay, you're, for example, you must be a waiter or a cooker. Ah, I don't like cook, but this is the best for you. Maybe prove it. Take your own chances. And maybe that's in 1 year and 2 years he's open his own restaurant, start to see his fate and the best version of himself. That's the babalawo must to do, and the person must to have patience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
This is not gonna happen overnight.
yeah, and in 1 week. Okay, in 1 week, a millionaire. I'm traveling. Because okay, you're gonna travel. You need to make the process visa, and
I know.
you know that's. But the thing is, you must to be honest. I think this is the best that the babalawo can do. Be honest, because in some point, that person gonna, if you say the truth, that person gonna remember you. When you say that, you say, okay, that babalawo told me this, and this is happening right now. It's not a lie.
Do you know? You probably know this, but do you know that there was a time in Cuba that being inside of any religion, I think the Yoruba is included, was prohibited. You knew that?
Was prohibited.
Yeah. Or it was
Before after I
before,
born.
no, before we were born. I mean, I'm talking about
Yeah,
during the
imagine.
50s.
Imagine, yes. Yeah.
Do you know why? Do you know anything about this?
Maybe by the sacrifices. I don't have this kind of why, but
It was the same time that being gay in Cuba was prohibited.
yeah, but I told you, the beginning was the Spanish. They forbade to all of the slaves to practice his own religion. But the Yoruba religion, all the African religion, is always be there. Maybe in the shadows, but always there, because all the elders, Miguel Febles was a very famous babalawo. very old, even before of the 50. So always there. Maybe it's like because the sacrifices, how I say, the way to believe, but it's always there.
Why, for example, I have heard that when you do a saint or you become a santo, and for example, when you ask to people, "Hey, what do you are? What saints is yours?" and people say, "What is the white wine?" The
Batala.
When people say, "I'm a batala," people say, "Oh, that's a powerful one." Why? What's the difference between each and one of them? What is a batala? Why is so powerful? The other ones. Talk to me about it.
It's not about which one is more powerful or not. It's about astrology because each one has his own power and his own natural representation. For example, Gemaya is the queen of the seas. So uh, without seas, we can travel or have fish. For example, there is a Batala, the creator of the human beings, is the reach of the peace, the intelligence. Chango is the reach of the thunder, is a good fighter. Elegua is the only child one, but is one of the most important because if you if you must make a sacrifice to one of the other Orishas, you must make a sacrifice to him first because he's the opener of the ways. So your lucky depends of him. It's for that reason when you heard the phrase, Elegua close your ways, is that you have a bad lucky. Yeah, something like that. But I think everyone has his own power. It's not one more important or not.
Talk to me about the things that, as a believer, you have in your house, and why you should have it in your place. And I'm talking about the saint itself, the things that you should put, for example, behind the door. Some people they have some, I don't know, glass with water, and who knows? Why is that?
Well, you have in your for example your orichas when you receive uh, the crown of your oricha, you need to have with you that your protection. So that's why you have it inside the house. There is some powers or rituals or entities you must keep it outside the house. For example, in the backyard, but it's just a few of them. Um, why of the glass of water? There is something that the Yoruba believers, Santeros, they have to is boveda, call it boveda, is a little table with some glass with water, fill it with water, and one cross is where the ancestor lives. Every day that when you start the day, you ask to those ancestors the blessing to have a good lucky with your day, your job, your life.
But that's not a paragraph that you have to follow. You just talk to me, or
Yeah. Normally, in this boveda, you have a book of sentences, like the Catholic thing.
like
Yeah.
the Bible.
Padre nuestro que estás en los cielos. Yeah, you have it, and sometimes you read this kind of sentences, praise to them. Yeah, you put flowers. This is some. When you watch this something, you transmit like peace.
Are you happy been within this religion?
Yeah, there is bad days in your life because it's normal and sometimes, but if you have the thing is, if you have a problem, you have the way to give solution to that. This is a good thing. You need to have faith and patience and perseverance.
If you saw someone like me, for example, that today I had a crazy day. If you saw someone like me, you would say, "Hey, you need to go to a babalawo." Because in Cuba, so many people say, when you see someone having a crazy day or having like so many things going on, bad things going on in their life. Hey, in Cuba, we say, "Hey, you gotta go to Guanabacoa, man." It's like you gotta go to Guanabacoa. Guanabacoa is a very popular neighborhood
Yeah,
for their religion.
yeah.
O we say in Cuba, papi, te tienes que dar un plumazo, o te tienes que dar ¿cómo es? Te tienes que dar, ¿cómo se dice? Te tienes que limpiar.
Gajazo, un gajazo.
Exacto. So, why is that? Are you inviting people to do it, or just because a way to say? It's like, bro, you gotta see what's going on in your life, or that's a real invitation.
Yeah, that's the difference of the believer and the fanatic. Is that way? I think each person has they are able to recognize when your astrology is a little bit fucked. Yeah, this is the thing. For example, you make some investment with your money and go wrong, or your wife has a lot of aborts. Yeah, that's the word. So you are able to understand when your life is a little bit it's not normal.
You're fucked up.
Yeah, it's repeating and repeating. So you think, okay, I must do something, and that's where when you go to a babalawo to find the answers. What's happening? What I need to do to get better. It's not always like, for example, your phone is broken. It's a hard thing, but it fall and it's broken. You must take care. Watch out the next time. You must be careful to choose what time is something normal going wrong or something is really going wrong. So is that why I don't recommend every time go to the babalawo. It's not the babalawo is working, but you create this kind of dependence
And fanatism.
of the somebody tell you what do you need to do. No. You must be. You need to have the control of your life. With your religion, you're gonna have your help that you need, the help that you need to have the control of your life. That's the way that I think. There's a lot of people every day is elegua or vanala.
Yeah.
This. I know.
Oh, I'm impressed. I didn't know a lot of things, and I think that we've been talking a lot about it. Do you have any special like point that you would love to highlight here that we haven't talked yet? Like something that we shouldn't miss now that we're talking about the religion in Cuba, which is very important for people.
I think this what I'm talking right now. This is very important because sometimes the people don't have the real concept of a religion. Maybe you don't believe in this popular this popular religion like Christianism, Catholicism, Yoruba, but they believe, I don't know, in a ring, in the air, in the water, in the natural element. This is religion because it's something that you believe. You have faith in something. That's the important thing. because you can blame to the religion or your riches or your saint for everything that happened in your life. Because for the good, okay, but when something going wrong, this like God gave me this bad luck. No, 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 no. You must. This happened for something. Maybe the mistake was
Because of you.
because of you. Because sometimes the riches give you this advice and you just forget it, or you don't give it some the important the real thing of the meaning. So this is the for me. There is a lot of people they want to start in the religion. You must know first, must believe in you. Second, in the religion, because this religion don't gonna give you, don't gonna do everything for you. It's a support. It's
So the religion is part of your life. It's not
exactly,
your life.
it's exactly perfect. That's it.
It's good. So hopefully this podcast help you guys a lot to understand more about. I mean, the podcast was all about the Yoruba religion itself. I wanted to talk about some other religions, but this podcast is going to be endless. There is a lot to talk.
Yeah.
So I need to have more guests. I wanna have a talk with a Nabaqua, with a, I don't know, Palero, who knows, someone who have a different point of view, because I know that the religion as a word in Cuba is huge, and I know that so many of you guys wants to come to Cuba to know more to know more about the religion in Cuba, but the Yoruba is one of the most famous or most known in Cuba. And hopefully, guys, this podcast helps you a lot to understand a lot more about the Yoruba religion. And we're going to have another podcast where we're going to be talking about the music, because you are one of the most complete artists that I know personally. You draw, you sing, you play instruments, and
Another thing.
and you are a what's going on here?
Sorry.
You you're a songwriter. So if you want to listen this guy here singing, I'm going to put the link to his YouTube channel down below. But also in the next podcast, we're gonna have this guy singing a piece for us. So thank you again, and see you guys in the next episode.
Thank you.
Chao pescado, vuelta picadillo, papi.